Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the one and only Psychosin project here on YouTube. Today's going to be a new show on the channel. This is Psychosin Psychoanalysis, which is where I'm going to be reviewing stuff that's already been released from signed bands. Obviously, upcoming stuff will be under the show, incoming and unsigned bands will be the Underground Rising section. But this is for those albums that have already been released recently, but I didn't get round to reviewing at the time of release, or it was not sent to me in time by the record labels. Anyway, today I'm going to be reviewing the Dreaming's third album, which is Rise Again. Who are the Dreaming? Well, let me tell you. The Dreaming are a band formed from the ashes of Stabbing Westward and feature ex-members of Orgy as well. They deal in electronic dark rock and hail from Los Angeles. They're founded by singer Christopher Hall and drummer Johnny Hull, along with guitarist Carlton Bost from Deadsy and Orgy, Francesco Destruct on bass guitar as well, and they also feature keyboardist Walter Flackus. I believe I pronounced that right, I do apologise if not, if he watches this. Anyway, the album I'll be reviewing, called The Rising, is actually their third release to date, and was released on the 10th of February this year. So first up on the album is the song Alone. Now this starts with a keyboard and then drums as the keyboard holds the note until the bass guitar joins in, creating an ethereal song feel to the song. Guitars fade in and then the vocals from Christopher Hall join, full of emotion. A drum roll then leads into the chorus and the guitars come to the forefront of the song as the vocals become louder and louder and more intense. Guitars now taking the lead of the song, join the verses, takes us back to the glory days of Stabbing Westward, back on like Darkest Days and songs such as Drugstore. As we reach the middle of the song, we're back to the drive-in, almost Tool style bass line. The lyrics on here more hopeful sounding than the lyrics in Stabbing Westward. That song then ends with a drum roll and then the guitars fade out. Up next is Painkillers. Now this starts with industrial sounds, then a rousing stop-start kind of rock riff. The verse is propelled forward by occasional guitar, keyboard and drums. When we reach the chorus you can tell that this is definitely going to be not only a live favourite but a definite club favourite as well. The keyboards on this song do an excellent job of adding to the sound of the songs and not just swamping the other instruments as some other bands have done or some production of bands has done. We break down to just keyboards and guitars, then we just get just the keyboards and vocals, sorry again forgetting how to speak, until the whole band comes back in for one last repetition of the chorus. We end with the keyboards and the guitars fading out once again. Up next is Kisses Taste Like Death. Now this starts with the keyboard and then there's a drum roll and the whole band comes crashing in. There's another superb driving rock riff from the guitarists on this song. This has another huge stadium sized chorus that is going to be sung along live and will be a definite live favourite. It's a definite candidate to be a single from the album if it isn't already. I actually haven't got round to checking out if they've released a single from this album yet. I'm guessing they probably have. We get to the 2-minute mark and break down to just keyboards until the band kicks back in at full force. We end with that rousing rock riff and dance beats leading a big, loud, sudden ending to the song. Up next is the song Empty Promises. Now this starts with a dance style beat and keyboards, then the guitars kick in and the whole band following. Vocals come in over an industrial dance sounding keyboard. The pre-chorus build up to yet another stadium sized chorus, something this band seem to excel at. This could get stuck in your head for weeks. In fact, many of the choruses on this album so far are very much like that. At the middle eight we are down to just keyboards and drums, then a fantastically heavy metal styled riff comes in over the top. We return to that incredible chorus that it demands you to sing and shout along. We end the song with a guitar solo and the name of the song being sung over and over by the vocalist until the song comes to another sudden end. The halfway point of the album is a song called Afraid. Now this starts with a keyboard fading in and then drums, and we're into a mid-paced drum beat. The vocalist comes in over the top of the drums and the keyboard. For the chorus, the guitars come in, adding to the overall emotion of the song. Another hopeful sounding chorus on this song despite the slightly industrial goth sound. Another breakdown to just keyboards for the middle 8, then a drum break, and we're back to the chorus. The song ends with a keyboard backing dance style beats and a few notes playing over the top until we end with the guitars ringing out the last note of this fantastic song. Up next is Throw It Away. Now this starts with a single keyboard note being played over and over. Then a slightly mournful keyboard melody starts getting played. The vocalist comes in over the top again in fine voice, something that Christopher Hall has always been. He's been a fantastically underrated singer in the rock and metal circles. Distorted guitar plays a few notes in the background during the chorus. Then a drum beat and we're into the full band playing again for the chorus. We then retreat back to just keyboard, bass and drums. A guitar solo there comes in for the middle 8, playing at a slow pace and perfectly judged. This song will be an amazing centre point of any live performance, and we end the song with just the keyboard fading out. Up next is Still Believe. Now this song starts with ethereal sounds, then bass and drums kick in. The guitar comes in, playing the melody of the song. The guitars stop and the vocals start singing over the top of the keyboards. There's a definite Tool style bass line on this song again, which adds to the song fantastically. I'm not accusing them of obviously ripping off Tool or anything like that. We then go into the chorus and a superb riff to drive the chorus along. At the middle of the song we get the guitar stops, and we get the melody driven along by bass and keyboards. We then have just keyboard and vocals until the guitars come back in for another recital of the superb chorus. We end with the entire band playing the main melody until we come to the end and fade out. Up next is Blink of an Eye. Now this starts with industrial style keyboard sounds. Then an absolutely massive industrial metal riff comes in over the top. The vocals kick in, the guitar stop, and we have just the vocalist and keyboardist driving the song along. After we break down to just the vocalist singing the title of the song, the whole band comes crashing in for an absolutely huge chorus on this song. At the middle 8 we get the keyboard swelling up, adding to the emotion of the song while the vocalist continues singing. Then we break down to just digital sounding beats and the vocalist himself. The band then crashes back in for the chorus again, taking us through to the end of this song. The penultimate song on the album is called Destroy. Now this starts with digital beats from the keyboards, then some nice slap bass being played. I think it's that slap bass anyway. And the vocalist joins in as the keyboards swell up, so the guitars joining in as well. We then reach the chorus, which is going to be another live anthem, which people are going to love singing along to. At the middle of the song we have a swirling guitar riff and keyboard until we break down to just vocals and keyboards again. The keyboards swell up the intensity until we are back to one more recital of the chorus, leading us to the end of the song, which adds more and more layers of instruments, and then we just get a sudden end on this song. The final song on the album is the album's title track, Rise Again. Now this is an absolutely huge anthem of a song. In a way it kind of reminds me a little bit of old school orgy, and in fact Marilyn Manson during his heyday, i.e. around the time Antichrist Superstar and indeed Mechanical Animals. This starts with a keyboard swell, then the band joins in. The chorus kicks in, again lyrically being about how after all he's been through in his personal life, and obviously with all that happened with Stabbing Westward, he is still here and he's rising again with this new band. And it's going to be an absolute blast live, this song, and if they chose to end their set, this would probably be the song to do it, because this is just an amazing song to end a set with. And it's definitely a high edgy song, it has an anthem written all over it. Even a little bit of dubstep sounding keyboards in the middle of the song, adding a really nice bit of variety to it, and it adds to the intensity of the song. Song ups the intensity, and then we get another sudden end to the song, and indeed to the album. So, what did I think of the band The Dreaming and their third album, Rise Again? Well, honestly, I really enjoyed it. Being a fan of Stabbing Westward back when they were active, being their first album I heard was the absolute classic Darkest Days, and always thought that as a band, Stabbing Westward were very, very underappreciated and underrated, in fact, along with Orgy, although Orgy have come back. This does have shades of Stabbing Westward bits, like what the logical conclusion would be if Stabbing Westward had continued, along with elements obviously from Orgy, because obviously they have one of the members from Orgy in the band as well. This is full of really, really good rock riffs, fantastic metal, fantastic industrial sounds, even a bit of a modern influence, obviously with that little bit of dubstep on that last song there as well. All coalesced together with a kind of maturity that only years of being in the music business and writing this kind of music can do. It's good to hear vocalist Christopher Hall not so much relying on more goth style lyrics and actually giving some hope to his listeners, which is something he didn't really do in early Stabbing Westward. Obviously the last hour of Stabbing Westward, where they went a little bit poppy, he did go down a different lyrical route, which was maybe kind of showing where he was going to go with this band. I mean, I'll admit I didn't know that this band existed until recently. I've got to check out their other albums, because I said this is their third one to date. But honestly, if you like Stabbing Westward, Orgy, or I'd even say if you liked Death Stars, check this band out. Anyway, I have been Psychosin. This has been Psychosin Psychoanalysis. This is a new show where I'm going to be reviewing stuff that has already been released and isn't an up-and-coming band, like an unsigned up-and-coming band, or a future release. They are obviously the shows Underground Rising and also Incoming, which are both on this channel as well, along with all the interviews. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video for your viewing pleasure.
I turn to face it.